Threads is one of the most popular social media apps in Taiwan right now. So on April 16th, I posted a highlight clip from my YouTube video about going to make a pool basketball this year, and it ended up getting over 40,000 views. Lots of people followed me because of that post. That's why in this video, I want to talk about new shit I've seen on Threads over the past 3 months and share some of my thoughts. This is Fatty Hedgehog, a channel that's 75% about rock, and the other 25% just like today, talking about things that aren't really about rock. Let's get into the shit. First of all, I still want to talk about emo again, and some shits about rock first. And in case you didn't know, a lot of Mandarin are different between Taiwan and China. The most classic example is video. We call 影片, they call 视频. It's kind of like UK says football, and the United States says soccer. Some words weren't really used in Taiwan before, but it's kind of popular now, like 牛逼, that is cow's vagina. People in China really love cow's pussy. To say something is badass or dope, maybe they think cow's vagina is super thick, so it feels powerful, I don't know. Actually, I'm not against dirty language. I think rock music can be dirty, just not misogynistic. We also love sperm when we speak Taiwanese. The real problem isn't the words themselves, like UK and United States don't want to destroy or invade each other, and they both democracies. But China has made it very clear, they want to let our country be gone. They want Taiwan to be a part of China. To me, 牛逼 is cultural invasions. Through music, hip-hop, variety shows, and of course, endless short videos from TikTok. They start with language, showing only the cool and good side of their culture. Little by little, they try to make us feel like our own government sucks, that democracy doesn't work, and they want us to shift closer to their values, step by step. And I think that's a serious problem. So I saw some people on Threads discussing which Mandarin are from China and which are from Taiwan. Personally, I don't think it's a bad shit. Some of my friends think this kind of behavior is too crazy and silly, kind of like some pro-DI in the United States. But the truth is, certain words have been part of our life for years without us even noticing them. That's not a good sign. That's why I still think it's worth to focus on. But not every shit were from China. Emo is a good example. I saw someone post that emo came from China, and honestly, I was a little excited. I had made a video introducing Palette Royale and Måneskin, and in that video, I talked about how emo is just a genre that originated in the United States. Some American rappers started to put emo vibes in their music and reached China. Then after 2017, Taiwan was really into Chinese rap, so the word emo started to be so popular in Taiwan, especially teenagers. You can check out that video if you're interested. I quickly edited the part of that video and replied to that post on Threads. I'm so appreciate that the frontman of Infernal Chaos reposted my clip, and that the vocalist of Opposites also posted a thread talking about what emo really is. I don't think my video is the only reason all the rock community in Taiwan started talking about this. Some people might just notice that emo was being thrown around a lot, but I'm pretty happy that Threads made my favorite genre and culture being seen, and I hope lots of culture from Taiwan and democracies can lead the trend again. The next I want to talk about is Taiwanese rock and roll band called Wubai and China Blue. I think they were the only Mandarin-placed rock band from that era could truly compare Beyond from Hong Kong. They held a concert at Taipei Arena in mid-May. A lot of fans started posting clips and talking about the show on Threads. I also feel like Wubai and China Blue really are one of the few super popular bands that's still pretty rock. Their live energy is way more rock than that so-called band from Quanzhou with the number in their name. But as I was reading people's posts, everyone kept saying Wubai songs this and Wubai performance that, and I was thinking, wasn't this a concert by Wubai and China Blue as a rock band? Even if Wubai wrote the lyrics and composed the music, and even if the other band members don't care, these are still songs by the band, not just him as a solo artist. So I made a post on Threads trying to open up a discussion about that, but most people, whether they were fans or not, they didn't seem to agree with me. Still, I think we should pay more respect to the whole band, especially when it comes to rock rock bands. There should be a clear difference between rock band and an independent pop singer. To me, that really matters. But even if people disagree, I do think Thread is a cool place because it lets different stands mosh and talk. This next thing, unlike the emo video I mentioned earlier, I'm actually very sure it happened because of me, and that I let people focus on it. There's a super famous Japanese rock band called Spire, and in June, they had their Asia tour stop in Taipei and Nangon. I was super excited after the show. Of course, I saw a lot of people posting about it on Threads, but then one post popped up. It was kinda angry. The person said he or she were pissed that someone showed up to the Spire show wearing a Wonky Rock's t-shirt. He or she even commented under the post saying something like, "I hope that girl with Wonky Rock shirt doesn't start waving around a Wonky Rock tower too." And then she did wave the tower, and the original poster was clearly upset about it. At the time, no one had liked and replied to that post yet, so I quickly hit like, reposted it, and comment. Is there some kind of Spire fan culture I don't know about? I've been listening to them for over 10 years, but this is my first time going to their show and waving tower at their live. I didn't know that using the Wonkara hashtag would get a lot of views, but I also really wanted people to talk and notice about rock shit more. The original poster didn't answer me, but another girl jumped in and told me not to take it seriously. There's no secret fan culture you don't know about. Then suddenly this post just blew up. Tons of people started commenting, most of them really not happy with the original poster. Some mentioned that in Japan, people do change their band tees during music festivals, but more people, especially from metal scene, saying they often wear other band shirts to shows, it started feeling pretty one-sided. Then I realized the girl who commented back to me, the one saying there's no secret culture, was actually the girl who wore the Wonkara shirt to the Spire show. Not sure if she got attacked somewhere else online, but she didn't seem too happy either. Meanwhile, the original poster says she was also an Wonka rocker, so I was just like, why are we fighting? I just wish rock fans could actually talk things out and find some kind of understanding. Yeah, I'm probably just another stupid rock fans that think everything will be fine. So anyway, I clicked into the original poster Thread's profile. It turns out her Instagram is full of cat photos, and I think she's a girl. Then holy shit, we'd actually have a chat before under her post back in April. Right after I saw Ellie Gardner's live, I saw her post a clip of Spire's former vocalist covering an Ellie Gardner song. I was so losing my mind when I saw it, cause I always split Japanese rock into two scenes, Spire and bands like that kind of one side, which called J-Rock, and the Wonky Rock, Pay Money to Japan, and the Japanese post-hardcore scene on the other. And suddenly, 10 years later, they're crossing over. I commented on her video back then saying how happy I was, and she even replied with more links to other covers that Spire's old vocalist did of Ellie Gardner songs on YouTube. She was the one. So these two girls basically count as Japanese punk nerd. I thought as someone aiming to become a big rock and roll YouTuber someday, I should at least try to help them. I want to do something for the scene and for the genres I love, so I went back to the cat girl's post, the one about the band T, and tried to talk to her again. I told her I really want to understand, was she an Wonky Rock hater, or she just cares about wearing another band's t-shirt to someone else's show. She did reply this time, but kind of like her replies to the other people, dodging the question, not really giving a clear answer. So I followed up and said I personally feel like wearing another band's tee to a different band's show can actually help people chat, and I want to know her standing on that. But she just said something like, well, you can promote that idea on your YouTube channel if you want. And honestly, that started letting me feel annoyed. So I told her seriously, you are the one who made a connection in my mind between Spire and pop punk. That means a lot to me. You're really important to me for that. But then she just replied saying she didn't feel comfortable and added 3 vomiting emojis. After that, I couldn't see any of her posts and replies anymore. Yeah, I think she blocked me. It was that moment that I realized I fucked up. I went to ask one of my female friends what just happened, and she told me, yeah, that was kinda gross. Like, why are you telling a girl you're never mad that she's important to you? And I kinda get it now. I was too impatient and just just trying to do something for the music I love so hard. I didn't think about it from her point of view at all. I apologize for that. I guess I still have a long way to go on my journey to be a feminist and straight boy. But this whole thing did let people have a deep discussion around rock culture on Threads. So even I feel a little guilty, it was a memorable Threads experience I've had so far. This next thing, yeah, pretty much the whole indie music scene in Taiwan saw it. I'm mentally sick, so I go to music festival tower. Like, come on, that's just straight up exploiting mental illness for a joke. And on top of that, the disrespect of music festival in Taiwan never stops every year. Like, everyone who goes has messy sex lives, and they're all on drugs. And now we've got someone selling this kind of tower. It hurts both people struggling with mental health and the music festival community at once. That's kind of dope, honestly. A lot of members of famous bands and some founder of the music festival in the scene have already spoken out on threats against it. I knew people have been saying music festival fans love self-harm or whatever. I made a video before talking about how rock music and mental health are deeply connected. So many of the bands I love, Battle Royale, Linkin Park, Måneskin, and Bring Me Horizon, they've all written songs about mental struggles. As their fan and as a tiny rock YouTuber now, I've always said, even though I'm not a mental doctor, I hope my YouTube channel can be a space where you get to know these bands and feel seen through their music, promoting emo, other kinds of rock, and cannabis for mental health. I believe all of that can help and make Taiwan be a better country. There's some rock and roll conversations on Threads also, like FireX just wrapped up their 25th anniversary shows. I posted a clip on Threads with subtitles from one of their chat on stage. Comments were pretty liked it. Artists like ShxtsThxtsNxtRxck, amazing show. I added a bit from one of my older videos on YouTube and reposted on Threads, and kinda get some views there. Fred Lim was appointed as ambassador of Taiwan to Finland to keep protecting Taiwan there, and got a lot of hate from pro-China people. I reshared a YouTube video about Finland, said Finland is kinda like Taiwan, and that one also get a lot of views. And of course, the Wonky Rock hashtag always active. Wonky Rocker posting lots of shit about Wonky Rock every day. The last, everyone are waiting for a Fireball Festival. These are pretty much the rock shits I've been paying attention to on Threads over the past 2 or 3 months. Okay, so here comes the one isn't really about rock, but it actually turned out to be my most viewed post on Threads so far. I found a news report about Taiwanese adult content creator who went to Hong Kong and got in trouble for showing her underwear. Sounds like she could be facing some kind of heavy charges. First of all, sex and rock are deeply connected. I've always believed that sexual freedom is a shit need to focus on. And I feel like what happened during Hong Kong protests back in 2019 had a huge impact, no matter myself or Taiwan. It let democracy in Hong Kong die so fast and also affected Taiwan's election of president. It literally changed the history. That's why I feel these two shits, the adult content and the politics related. In my post, I wrote that the police and law in Hong Kong cannot be trusted, and as a Taiwanese, there might take more risk there. I also said the public indecency, laws, and sexual freedom will always be in intention, and that's something we should keep discussing about. But then, a bunch of Hong Kong people showed up in the comments disagreed me, said I talk shit, spreading rumors, and show no respect on Hong Kong. A girl even posted photo of showing panty in public and saying it's not a big deal. Honestly, it feels a little heartbreaking. I've always supported Hong Kong. I even raised my hand with 5 demands, not one less, at the FireX show when they played City of Sadness for the whole song. I thought we were on the same side, but maybe people in Hong Kong just don't want to talk about freedom anymore. And finally, this was probably the most frustrating experience since I used Threads. Around May, there were some TikTok live streamers from China broadcasting outside the Scroll Gate and even near military bases here in Taiwan. The faces of Taiwanese elementary school kids weren't even blurred, and their images were being streamed and reposted across Chinese platforms. A lot of band vocalists and musicians start sharing and reposting about this issue on threads. Traditional media also reposted that at least one Chinese national was under investigation. I also reposted this issue on threads and even shared a post in my friends group chat, telling them that this was something people need to focus on. But then, it turned out the thread I shared was a misunderstanding. My friend sent another article in our group chat, saying that a girl saw an old woman filming street scenes and assumed she was Chinese. So she walks up and starts recording her, warning her not to hurt Taiwan, and post it on threads. But in reality, that woman was actually Taiwanese. Even so, I still trust there are Chinese people live streaming in Taiwan, and we should do something about it. Especially when you look at some of these accounts that say we were witch hunting people streaming on street. They keep posting anti-government shit so much and so weird. But some of my friends were upset. One of them said, I didn't immediately accuse the girl was wrong with them, made him feel all the pro-Taiwan people are just a bunch of radical idiots. I really tried my best to explain that this kind of great area harassment from China has been going on for a long time. Military plans, thieves, people sneaking on our beach, and now these live streams are just another piece of that puzzle. We should focus on it. Some people on threads were even sharing ways to report these streamers, but it seems like there's no official way from the government. So my friend said those pro-Taiwan people and supporters of Blue Bird movements are making up rules harassing people on the street. To him, the Bluebirds are just a tiny group doing crazy shit. I try to explain that more and more people know what China is actually doing, but my friend thought I was just staying in an echo chamber. This issue reaches a boiling point when a pro-Taiwan congresswoman, someone who usually focuses on children and education, she saw someone streaming on the street and tell him do not record children, and she posted the guy on threads. Then people found the person was just filming himself. The pro-Taiwan congresswoman ended up deleting the post and apologized. One of my friends even said she should be recorded. That was kind of frustrating me, seeing a really good pro-Taiwan congresswoman wanted to protect children and the country through the post, and yet, the moment she made a mistake, people just want to destroy her. To me, that's not the most should worry about. China still has thousand ways to hurt us, but every time we try to protect our country, there's always someone who doesn't understand the full pictures. They think we are overreacting, spreading fear. This time they say us witch hunting and shaming people on the street. Then they say big records movement are just helping pro-Taiwan party dominate the system, and we are actually the one destroying democracy. You never know what's next. These will let fewer and fewer people got courage to step up and defend Taiwan. So I still want to say this. If you still see Chinese people streaming or recording our schools, children, military sites, or even just our street things, you should find ways to stop them, but also protect yourself. And we should keep using threads to quickly spread right informations. The Bluebird will keep flying, we carry those people on, and keep protecting Taiwan. As the day of big record both get closer, those my friends started sharing a so-called slap in the face video of a pro record video for dummies. Our sounds full of lies, and this pro record YouTuber might get money from someone. My friend wanted me to check it out who's actually right. This slap in the face video maker has always pretended to be good for Taiwan, but in reality, he loves to attack the pro-Taiwan government. I tried watching his video line by line to see what the fuck is he actually saying, but honestly, he was just so far from the truth. Our pro-Taiwan city councilor, Amiao, just said that as we get closer to the record date, it's important to find and speak moderate voters that are really open to understanding what's really going on. So I think it's not worth to discuss about what this a slap in the face video on YouTube again. I also tell my friends 30k YouTuber is too small for me. Find someone bigger for me to fight next time. But then I see that pro-China anti-record rally happening down in Taichung. It's hard to feel no frustrated and anxious. For the past few months, I've tried my best reposting lots of posts, videos, anything that help explain why the recall matters, but honestly, not a single one of my friends or family members has really been pursued. So I guess all I can do now is making this video. Maybe, just maybe, there's someone out there who does want to understand. Last year, pro-China party in the Taiwanese Congress visited China for so-called exchanges, and ever since they just came back starting from May last year, they've been pushing legal reforms to expand the powers of legislature, trying to destroy the balance of our democracy system. That's exactly why the Bluebird movement began, and for the first time I went out on the street to join a civic protest. By the end of last year, these same pro-China lawmakers went even further. They paralyzed the constitutional concert to destroy our judiciary ability to keep power in check. They even tried to strip citizens of their right to record, locking the doors to prevent pro-Taiwan legislators joining the lawmaking, rushing votes through without correct counting, block important bills, and the top secret version of a draft law just came out of nowhere. They just don't want the public and the pro-Taiwan lawmaker know and join the discuss, and they even slashing the budgets left and right. I believe people across Taiwan are seeing all this clearly, but what pissed me off the most is our military is already against hard to Chinese aircraft and warships every day. These pro-China congressmen are still cutting our defense budget. They even mock our submarines, and now they're trying to take away the president's rights to lead the national security. They've done so much to make our country weak and dangerous. Are you sure you're not going to stand up and vote agree for the recall? Even Taka, the frontman of Wonky Rock, has reminded everyone to care about politics and go out and vote. He said the people who don't care about politics are actually the ones who really have a problem. Politics is fucking life. Here in Taiwan, a lot of rock bands are putting out songs to support the big record movement. I'm not sure what I can personally do to really help everyone who's already giving it their all and let more people care about politics. And moving forward, I'll keep using rock, design, aesthetic, equality, feminism, sexual issues, blockchain, and even cannabis to show a teenager from 13 to 19 that supporting democracy and loving our Taiwanese culture is something cool. I hope we can take back the cultural narrative from China and tell our own stories again. It feels so tired, but I'll keep making videos in English until the day I die, because I want the world to see Taiwan, and hopefully one day this channel will bring me and Taiwan to the world to connect with others in democratic world who love rock and roll and protect the democracy frontline together. I truly hope this big record and the by-election lead to something good, so we can all get back to normal life. I can finally go back to sharing the rock bands I love in the next video. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Threads and chat there if you a rock and roll fan and pro-Taiwan person. But for now, let's stay focused on our little mountainous sweet potato. I'll put some record related video down in the description below if you need it. Go talk to people and let them vote for agreed. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay rock, stay peace, and of course, big record, big success.